Tonight, we stop acting like landlords and start thinking like lenders. Tonight, we learn to be the bank. Welcome to Be the Bank, your source for private lending strategies. Our guest expert is here to share insights on real estate wealth building. My first guest didn't just climb the ladder, she burned it down. She went from swinging hammers in Detroit to managing a $50 million private debt fund. They told you the path to wealth was buying a rental property. They told you to deal with the tenants, the toilets, and the 3 a.m. phone calls. They lied. Welcome to the Equity Edge. I'm Marco Barnes Jr. For 20 years, Wall Street kept the best deals for themselves. But the gatekeepers are gone. The real estate market is shifting and the power is moving away from the borrowers and toward the capital. Tonight, we stop acting like landlords and start thinking like lenders. Tonight, we learn to be the bank. Joining me to the show. Joining me is Elena Petrova. Elena, you've moved $50 million in private debt this year alone. Welcome to the show. Elena.
Marco, it's time people understood that equity is vanity, but velocity is king. I want 4 deals for 90 days each. That's how you compound. That's how you scale without the headache of owning the dirt.
You're talking about turning the table on the traditional system. You're not just investing, you're the infrastructure. Welcome back to the Equity Edge. We're deep into the velocity revolution with Elena Petrova. Elena, let's get specific. Walk us through a recent deal where this velocity strategy truly paid off. Give our audience a real-world example they can sink their teeth into. Any new developments in South Beach?
Absolutely, Marco. We recently funded a prime corner lot for a boutique luxury condo project.
Oh.
He was shovel-ready, permits in hand, but delayed by 6 weeks due to new compliance hurdles.
Elena, what's the urgency on this South Beach deal?
He needed $1.5 million to break ground now or risk losing his crew in critical pre-sale deposits.
The classic bottleneck. Banks move at glacial speeds, opportunities move at light speed. So he comes to Apex Capital. What did your team do?
Our team closed in 5 days. We provided the $1.5 million bridge loan, plus a 3-point origination fee. Total cost to him, $1.5 million. Plus $180,000 in interest and $45,000 in fees.
Understood. Let's review the timeline. A quick, decisive strike. And the developer? Did he manage to secure his traditional financing within that 90-day window? And the loan?
He did. 30 days in, his bank loan came through. He paid us off in 45 days.
45 days. So you deployed $1.5 million and it returned to your fund in less than 2 months with a significant profit. Precisely.
We made $225,000 in 45 days. If we can redeploy that $1.5 million 4 more times within the year, imagine the compounding effect. That's the velocity. That's how you turn a single capital deployment into a multi-million-dollar annual return. The money doesn't sit, it works.
This isn't just about high interest rates. It's about the efficient movement of capital. It's understanding that time is money and speed is the ultimate multiplier. Elena, that's a masterclass in market timing. But what about risk? Not every deal goes according to plan. How do you mitigate the downside when you're moving this fast? Because when we come back, that's the tough question we need to tackle. What happens when the deal goes sideways? Stay with us. We talked about the end of velocity, but let's be real. When you're lending $1.5 million at high interest for a short term, things can go wrong. What happens when your borrower doesn't pay you back in 45 days or even 90? How does Apex Capital manage the risk when the deal goes sideways?
Risk is always calculated, never avoided. Firstly, we focus on equity. Our average loan to value is 60%. This means for a $1.5 million loan, the property is typically worth $2.5 million. That's a significant cushion.
So you're always over collateralized.
Always. Secondly, our due diligence is ruthless. We don't just look at the asset, we look at the borrower's exit strategy.
The audience understands the importance of LTV.
Where is the takeout loan coming from? What's their track record? If there's any doubt, we pass. We would rather miss a good deal than take a bad one.
Ruthless due diligence. That's the difference between being the bank and being a gambler. What happens if despite all that a loan defaults? Have you ever had to foreclose? How do you handle the implications of a default?
Of course, it's part of the business. For repositioning.
What are the implications for our clients?
But because we lend at such a low LTV, a foreclosure is rarely a loss. We take ownership of a valuable asset and take it through the development ourselves if it makes strategic sense.
How do you handle failures?
We turn a problem into another profit center. It's not a failure, it's an acquisition opportunity.
That's the mindset of a true capital allocator, not afraid of the downside because you've engineered the upside into every scenario. Elena, this has been an absolute masterclass. You've given our audience not just a strategy, but a complete being with us on the Equity Edge, but a complete paradigm shift. Thank you for being with us on the Equity Edge. Your expertise is truly impressive, Elena.
Thank you, Marco. It was my pleasure.
Grab your capital, put it in motion, and remember to always be the bank.